Hello there, this is the Handshake with me, Lynn Komjisha, and I'm joined by Paul Pushalizi. Paul, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So, the president of Zimbabwe resigned, and he said it was, he thought about it and said, let me chill this. He needs to rest anyway. So, Zimbabwe is known to have minerals, gold, agriculture. It's one of those rich countries.
Yeah, potentially.
Yes, but then its economy collapsed. What about all this?
Long story. Of course, we know that the president did not do it voluntarily. He was dragged kicking and screaming to resign, so that's okay. But that's aside. Yeah, I mean, Zimbabwe is one of those sad cases. I think of course the background is known. In 1980 they get black majority rule and Mugabe is the prime minister. He had a president at the time, a gentleman called Kanan Banana. And then Zimbabwe, like South Africa, is one of those countries where the white settlers controlled most of the arable land. So I think the ratio is even incredible, something like 70%, or at least more than 50% of the arable land. So at the attainment of black majority rule, that had to be redressed. Something had to be done about that.
Sure.
Now apparently the UK government and other people had provided funds for compensation of those white farmers who would relinquish their land to government, and then government would redistribute. Fortunately, this government, Mugabe and his cronies, went and distributed the land to themselves, so they really didn't solve a problem. It was just transferring from one minority to another. Fast forward to 2000, Mugabe is in a bit of political trouble. It looks like he might lose elections. He decides to get rid of the rest of the white guys by force, and therefore the land grabbing. Now, this is where we come in. The problem with that, and what has caused Mugabe's problem, is that that was a productive sector. Those are the guys who would produce the food, they would export the same food, and they would pay taxes. So when you kill them, it's not the farm that does the work, it's the people who manage the farm. So it didn't take a rocket scientist, and I think even I wrote at the time that this is what's going to happen. You're going to hand this thing over to people who have no experience, production is going to go down, and your economy is going to collapse, and that is essentially what is happening.
What happened?
Yeah.
What can we learn from this?
I think the learning point for anybody who is in government is you always have to cooperate with the productive sectors of the economy. The productive sectors of the economy are agriculture, manufacturing, services. If you frustrate and mess up these parts of the economy, you will not pay taxes. They will not pay taxes. You won't collect enough taxes. You won't be able to run governments. You won't be able to. People will begin to get disillusioned. You won't be able to do education, health, roads. Everything will go to hell. I mean, Uganda. It's just that it's been a while, but that's where Uganda was 30 years ago, when you've totally decimated the productive sector. It's just a matter of time. It's like night following day. It doesn't take, you don't even have to be brilliant to know. Once you mess up the productive sector and you start allying with hunger zone and the corrupt characters who are just looking to fleece, essentially you need these guys, because these guys who want to fleece, they have to fleece something. So I mean, it's a lesson for everyone. Everywhere in the world, the formula is there. If you mess up the productive sector, it's a matter of time, you're out. Simple as that.
Wow. So how are we doing?
Well, Uganda was struggling. We are trying. There's a World Bank study which is done every year. It's called Ease of Doing Business, and that essentially is how are you helping the productive sectors do what they do well, do best. And unfortunately, we fell back, I think, this year. We are down, I think, to number 150 or something, out of 189 countries, which is not very good. We need to push very hard, improve infrastructure, improve rule of law, respect of contracts, the court systems, to make sure the productive sector works. you see, this productive sector is what creates the jobs. If you're having problems creating jobs, you have to look to why aren't these guys creating jobs, and many times it's because of we're somehow not helping them. You know, on the macro level, we need to focus on this productive sector and help it produce.
Yeah.
It doesn't produce. I mean, and you know, Uganda is particularly unique because 70%, 7 in every 10 Ugandans derives a livelihood from agriculture.
From agriculture, yes.
So the most obvious thing is you've got to support agriculture. And I think what we really need urgently in this country is what they call extension service workers.
Yeah.
And these are guys who come to your farm and tell you, you know, plant like this, or spray every so often, or do it like this, or do it like this. They essentially transfer knowledge from the researchers to the farmers. We need to invest in that. Government has budgeted to increase the extension service workers by a few thousand every year or something over the next few years. Hopefully that will help. But that's critical. And I mean, for me, the lesson from Zimbabwe, and it's not a new lesson, is that you mess up with the productive sector, it's a matter of time. It's a matter of time. You'll be out.
Everything will be out. Well, I think that's just about it. You can't really mess up with the productive sector, because what else are you going to do? You're
killing the cow, or you're killing the goose that's producing the golden eggs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I hope we learn. I hope we really learn. Thank you so much, Paul.
You're welcome.